I think broadly extremely fortunate to be sitting on these chairs at this point of time in India. I'm happy you said how foreign investors invest matter to us, because sometimes you have this commentary that ODIs have become better, so FIIs are not needed. That is not true. My personal opinion is India will never be available cheap. I have two caps, good cap, bad cap. See, I'll tell you what my mistake was. My mistake was
Hello and welcome to this very special series where we are going to be talking to some of the top minds and brains behind leading India's top mutual fund houses. And one such guest with me today is Mr. Swarup Mohanty, who's the CEO of Mirae Asset India. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out the time to talk to us. I just wanted to understand, Mirae Asset's role into, driving this growth philosophy that it goes with India's growth story as well, right? So how do you see Mirae has been kind of, leading towards that investment philosophy?
No, first of all, the conviction on the country.
Right.
We came in 2006-07 when the capital requirement was just 10 crores.
Right.
We were capitalized at 230 crores. That shows the promoters' focus and view on the country. Right. I think that view has only grown. Today, I can very proudly say that in Mirae Asset Global, India is the focus country for us worldwide. But from here on, our house view is in this geopolitical diversity, or not diversity, fragility is the right word of the world. We feel India is singularly positioned as a growth story. And we will back this story continuously by not only investing our own money, by getting global investors' money into India, as well as, pushing our asset management business in India. I mean, what started as just a mutual fund house,
right,
2006-07, today is expanded across businesses. We are running a good private equity venture capital fund. We were in Gift City building that business. We're in the process of building a good SIF business. We just got our approval for the license. We run a successful ETF business.
Right.
And we've just taken a PMS license. So from being a mutual fund, we are graduating to an asset manager. I think broadly extremely fortunate to be sitting on these chairs at this point of time in India. It's probably the only country which gives the scope of doubling its economy in the next 8-10 years. And we'd really like to dig deep into the country and build wealth for people.
I wanted to understand, how do global investors have been seeing India? Because obviously there was one whole phase where the money was pouring in, but again, there was panic selling as well from FIIs, right? And that was domestic investors who were kind of leading the push for us, at least the last year. But now, how do you see that sort of perspective from foreign investors, when it comes to India? So how do you kind of understand that behavior? Because how foreign investors bet on India also matters to us.
True.
Right?
Yeah. I'm happy you said how foreign investors invest matter to us.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have this commentary that, ODIs have become better, so FIIs are not needed. That is not true. You need all kinds of money.
Yeah.
Right, for this ecosystem to grow. You have to have different kinds of money, right? First of all, make no mistake that there is secular agreement to the fact that India is a growth story globally. There is no country which will say India is not a growth story.
Right.
Now, you ask any fund manager what he or she wants to buy, they'll tell you, I want to buy a good asset at a good price. It is a good asset. Everybody is agreed on that. Yes, price is a question. Now, sometimes people feel India is expensive. Sometimes they say they're fairly valued. And some people wait for India to be cheap. My personal opinion is India will never be available cheap, because there is very little. There's a lot of money chasing very little stocks. The market has to expand, which in the last 3-4 years has started expanding. If you see last year, we're the largest public issuer country of the world,
Right.
So the expansion of the market there is happening. More companies list, better for people who want to invest. Now, what happened in the second half of last year was pretty unique, because a lot of things happened together. We had slowdown of the economy. We fell to below 6%.
Right.
Corporate earnings disappointed. The rupee became volatile, right? All these factors at the same time. Some of the bond yields in the US were fairly attractive due to the situation there. So I would not agree that it was a panic selling of India. It was another opportunity in being better than India. So money rightfully went there. And trust me, when there is adversity any time in the world, there is a flight to safety. The flight to safety goes into two sides. One is they want the dollar, which is the currency of the world. And secondly, sovereigns start buying gold. So this was that happening, but sooner or later, once things stabilize, and that we have seen in the last 1 or 2 months, we're seeing FI action back in India. But some data points have to fall into place on a continuous basis. Corporate earnings have to come back, which we are seeing the beginning. Right. I think inflation has been the best part that could have happened. Interest rates have started slowing down, and we just need a little bit of stability on the rupee. For the money to come back. And I suspect that will be towards the second half of the year when we see clear trends of all of this, and the money will find its way route. So there is no way money will not come back to India. Question is where.
Right. With the whole India's growth story that we talk about, it's mostly the sovereign alpha that we are calling it actually. That's been helping, those alpha generation happening with the fund houses as well. But now from here on, right, especially when passive is also kind of getting focus, where many obviously want to get into passive investing as well, right? So with the whole idea of sovereign alpha being helping you to generate returns, just wanted to understand the whole importance of active fund management and how it actually evolves or goes from here.
See, I think India is in a very unique position. You have enough talent in active fund management to give you alpha. Yeah. At the same time, please understand what's happened on that space. There is categorization of funds. So I'm talking about active mutual fund perspective. Right. In categorization of funds, there has been categories laid down with portfolios almost laid down. Right. This is a business of ideation. So ideation is kind of limited in to put it mildly. Yeah. I have very stronger words because I feel fund management should be free to do what they want as long as they communicate the fund strategy and the risks well. There should be the ability to launch funds. Right. But that's not what the regulatory space is, which is fair. So we work within that. Now, when it comes to the passive side, wherever there is an universe to invest, we can create an index. And through factors can give you multiple permutation combination of the same index. Yeah. Point I'm making is ideation is unlimited on the passive side. Hence, the number of ideas that will come there will be far larger than what you get on the active side. It's great for the investor. The investor can choose the best amongst the two to form great portfolios. Give a small example. Suppose I'm not trying to sell a fund, but we have something called a mid and small. We run Mirae Asset mid and small ETF, which is unique because there is no mid and small category in active. Right. But if you see public issuances last 1 to 3 years, most new industry categories have come in mid and small. Right. Makes a very unique proposition. You don't get it on the active side. You can add it to make it a far comprehensive from a portfolio perspective. So I would not go into the debate of active versus passive. That we are able to give far more opportunities to investors to form stronger portfolios as per their risk profile and return requirement is a factor of the growth of the mutual or the investment universe. So there is great scope for active to happen. There's great scope for new ideas on the passive side. Right. What more can an investor ask for? I think India has enough space to kind of make the most of both the opportunities for sure. You mentioned about mid and small cap fund, right? Just wanted to understand how at least in the past few years the whole idea is that small caps are the only alpha generators, right? That's something at least many of the investors also have been sort of trying to chase on. I just want to understand, the categorization of large, mid and small, right? How should one look at it? Like, do they just look at mid and small cap companies because they are new companies, they are growing? So obviously alpha वहीं से generate होगा और large cap में तो देखने की जरूरत ही नहीं because वो companies already ही बड़े हो चुके हैं. Like, how should one think about when the categorization happens? So at a time when this debate was happening, right, last year. Actually, small caps were underperforming the benchmark, large caps were outperforming the benchmark, to put things data in perspective. Because if you see the difference between the market caps of the smallest small cap and the largest small cap is 3 times.
Okay.
The difference between the smallest mid cap and the largest mid cap is also 3 times. The difference between the smallest large cap and the largest large cap is 16 times. To say that opportunity is only in one particular cap is, I think, not correct.
Right.
I have 2 caps. Good cap, bad cap. There are good caps in every categorization. True. It's up to you to hold good companies, right? And then aspire to hold a good company at a good price. That is how you build portfolios, right?
Yeah.
In a country like India, which will double in the economy is set to double in the next 8-10 years, there are opportunities across. If you see the size of our largest large cap, compare it to the large companies globally, the gap is too wide still. So we are yet to happen from that perspective. Somebody who has the patience to add some good companies, irrespective of market cap, and sit has more chance of creating wealth than the person who tries to time the market.
Right.
The next 8-10 years is about enjoying the ride called India. And somebody who continuously enjoys the ride for this entire 10 years will probably be at a far stronger position on wealth creation than somebody who tries to find out the best 1 or 2 years of this journey.
So it's like a decade, as to say that you should be enjoying. It's been like a party since the bull market started.
Yes. And the party is not ending because the underlying country is growing by the day. The data points, whether you pick up on a quarterly basis, from power consumption to four-wheeler consumption, is just growing day by day. I mean, as you build connectivity, both physical and digital, and we put up a fantastic digital connectivity post-COVID for the country, business is bound to grow at a far faster rate. That's this space. And somebody who bets on this space and sits will benefit from it.
Right. When we talk about asset allocation, actually Mirae has one of the focus obviously has been, very strong on multi-asset and hybrids, right? So I wanted to understand, especially when it comes from today's generation, right? The young investors where equity is the go, right? Because वो ही पैसा बनाता है और तो कुछ बनाता नहीं है. That's the mindset many people have, right? Just wanted to understand from you, how asset allocation is important and how just all in equity, like, is it still the right way to go or not?
See, I'll tell you what my mistake was. My mistake was not, if I would have said equity is a growth asset class, I would be okay.
Right.
But due to my lack of knowledge or ignorance, whatever you might call, or bias, I would put it bias more than anything else. I would make the statement that equity is the only asset class, growth asset class. But on a 10-year horizon, when gold is outperforming equity at a broad index level, would mean that everything I said was wrong. Right? The unlearning of the last 4 or 5 years for me has been pretty staggering on the multi-asset class segment. The probability of getting a median return is higher through multi-assets than any one asset class. That is data, right?
Yeah.
Globally, and I just met a very senior person recently from London, and she told me that the bulk of retirement assets in Europe go into multi-asset class segment. And the data points kind of subscribe to that. Now, even after knowing that over the last 10 years, gold has outperformed equity.
Right.
Even with knowing that this global fragility of data will continue to have sovereigns buying gold, if we are not adding gold to our portfolio, then it's your problem, right? There is a merit of every asset or asset class in your portfolio. 95% of your wealth is created by asset allocation. 5% of your wealth is created by market and market movement. But 95% of discussions happen on market and market movement. Only 5% of discussions happen on asset allocation. If you can just change it around and be prudent to your own risk profile. And risk profile is a journey.
Right.
Risk profile happens in different stages of life.
Mm-hmm.
Me at your age was a different risk taker.
Right.
Me after marriage was a different risk taker. Me after my son was born, when I had to provide definitely for his education, was a different risk taker. And now, when I'm free from all that and preparing for my retirement, and I'm a paranoid retirement kitty guy, I'm a different investor completely.
Right.
A very interesting example. I'm preparing my for my pension because I don't have a pension. My mother is a pensioner. Her portfolio has more small caps than me because she will get money every month. Does not make her a better investor or me an inferior investor. We're two different investors with two different money classes or many stages, right? So it is called personal finance for a reason. Everybody's personal finance is personal. Customized to
Yes.
So everybody has their own way, but not to be invested in different asset classes is almost a crime status now.
Because I think at any stage of your life, asset allocation remains.
Yes. Now you can change the asset allocation as per your stage of life or requirement of life. People talk about inflation. But at your age, you should be more worried about lifestyle inflation. Because yes, you aspire to have great things in life, but more often than not, you don't understand or document that, okay, I was buying clothes at this much, now I'm buying clothes at this much. Once you get a hang of it, then working backwards on your finance is very easy. But not having a hang on it can be the bigger killer than inflation.
Right. Correct. You were mentioning how in Europe hybrids have obviously been one of the focuses, right? In India, how do you see that evolving? Of course, hybrid is something that we've been talking about, and I'm assuming that many of the investors have also been trying to get in on that category. But you must be obviously seeing it on the ground as well. Like, how do you see hybrids being adapted as something that everybody should be focusing on?
See, please understand. Hybrids don't give you an asset allocation solution. Hybrids give you a blend of different assets. Many times it is misconstrued that if I invest in, say, multi-asset, it takes care of my asset allocation. The multi-asset fund would have its own asset allocation grid. When you put your money there, that grid becomes your asset allocation. That need not be necessarily your asset. While the stability of or the probability of returns become more stabler in hybrids, it should be viewed as a fund class, not beyond that. The merits of that stand out. Right? But the difference between 2 assets and 3 assets in hybrids is now beginning to unfold. The addition of commodities, and I feel is a very good addition to just equity and debt, then it becomes a far more blended asset allocated product than just 2 assets. So I think a lot will be discussed, told, debated about the multi-asset category. I think that's a story which is about to unfold in the country.
Right. That seems like a very exciting space for you also as a fund house to be in, right? Trying to make people understand the multi-asset story. It was very interesting to know how you should believe in India's growth story, but multi-asset is something that you should be keeping in mind because you should always be prepared for all the volatility that might be coming your way. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It has been a pleasure talking with you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Pleasure was mine.